Hello. Today I'm going to talk about the Ayurvedic clock. So it's behind me. But first, I want to touch base with you. So we are going over the 4 pillars of wellness according to Ayurveda, and Western science really does back all this information up. So we're going to talk about, today we're going to talk about the clock, and I'm just going to break it down, give you the basics, give you something to think about as we head into the next weeks. Then what we're going to do is we're going to break down into nutrition, sleep, energy management, and lifestyle and routine. So each week we have a little bit different information. I'll be going through them all once, and then I'll go through them all again. So it gives you an opportunity to get a little more in depth if you want to learn more about your constitution, if you want to learn more about what's going on. And then in 2022, we'll have a program that'll go more in depth to each individual. So we still have to start with the foundations. The idea is to start with the foundation first. And that's what this 10 weeks is going to give you, is a basic foundation of what's kind of the rules to get started. And then we'll go deeper into it in the program starting in 2022. So here's my information, oneshifthappens.org, at just Cami. I'm working on the TikTok. I'm a little slow on some of the Instagram stuff. It's a work in progress. So as I start to get more information, as I start to record more and get my spaces set up, because I need to set things up a little bit different than where I'm at right now, and it'll get better and better. So I'm super excited about what's happening in the next few months. So we're going to go all the way up until about the week before Christmas. So there'll be different topics each week. You can hit as many of them or as little of them as you want to. They'll be recorded. They'll be on YouTube, and they'll be on Facebook. So you have those options to be able to check it out. It'll also be on my website. So all the links will be on the website, oneshifthappens.org. All right. So we will start with the Ayurvedic wheel. So behind me is this beautiful wheel, and you can see that the sun is on the top and the moon is on the bottom. So you can go ahead and make this circle. So I have a circle with an X in it and then a line across the center. At the line, you have 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. You have noon and midnight, 2 a.m., 2 p.m., and 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. So this is the clock. It's super simple to be able to follow that. We are familiar with a clock. This is the full clock of the full day going into the nighttime. And I'll break down each part after we get what you are right now. So I want you to make this clock. This stuff in the center will be something we talk about later. It means Kapha, Pitta, and Vata, which is the different constitutions for everything that I'll talk about in Ayurveda. And I'll keep it pretty simple, but in the program in 2022, I'll go more in depth into each category. And this will help give you a better idea of what's really, there we go, of what's really going on with you and getting more specific into your needs. So breaking this down. So in Ayurveda, we say that the day starts with the night before. So what we do the night before will dictate how our next day will go. So if we wake up sluggish and we wake up tired, fatigued, or if we wake up really refreshed and rested and feel clean and light, it is all determined by the night before. So if we stayed up too late, if we ate a heavy meal, all of that's going to have a huge impact on how we feel the next day. So I would like you to put down, what time do you eat your supper? So supper is the evening meal. I will always call it supper. I know most of us call it dinner. Supper, I'm a farm kid and I'm a little old school. So supper means something a little extra. So it should be the smallest meal, supplemental meal. So a smaller meal of the day should actually be our smallest meal. So what time do you eat supper? What time do you eat your noon meal? What time do you eat your breakfast? After that, what time do you go to sleep? What time do you wake up? What time do you exercise? And exercise can be going for a walk. It can be going to the gym, working out. It can be a yoga class. So what time do you do your activity? Do you do your movement? So if it's in the morning, afternoon, evening. If you do a split, I do a split. I do something in the morning and then I do something in the evening, usually a lighter walk in the evening, a little more exercise or a little more intensity in the morning. That is usually what I do. What time do you start winding down for your evening? So what time do you start shutting devices down, shutting work down, and able to detach from the world a little bit more so that you can get good quality sleep? All right, so now that we have that, I'm going to go over what the basics are. So according to Ayurveda and according to a lot of Western research, this is where we should be at. And then each week after this, we'll talk about why it's important, why the different times and the timing is so important, according to both Ayurveda and Western medicine. So I'll include both information in my talks. So we should be eating our last meal before 6 p.m. So before 6 p.m. should be our last meal, and it should be supplemental. So something a little extra, meaning a small meal, supper. We should be winding down about 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, devices should be shut off. So no screen time, just because we want our bodies to be able to shut down, to be able to go to sleep. We should be in bed by 10, no later than 10:30. So I highly suggest 10 o'clock and then 10:30 lights out, especially if you're reading a book before bed or something like that, that's fine. Or if you do meditations or something, that's fine too. Sleeping through, if you wake up in the evening, write that down also. So if you have that 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock time that you tend to get up, go ahead and write that down. Then we're going into the morning. So we should be up before 6 a.m. Although in the winter time, when our body is maybe a little draggy, maybe a little bit, needs a little more rest to be able to recoup from things, because winter at least in the northern states, is a little bit harsh. We're going to look at no later than 6:30, maybe 7, but 7's really, really pushing it. So 6 o'clock is ideal. You want to wake up before the kapha time, the day before that heavy denseness sets in of the day, but 6:30 would be okay. If you need more rest, 7 would be okay if you're sick. And then eating breakfast around or before 9 a.m. Eating your noon meal between 11 and 1 o'clock. And that should be the largest meal of the day. Exercising in the morning is ideal. So doing your meditation practice and then some sort of spiritual practice, along with exercise, your harder exercise in the morning, it helps your body prepare for the day. And then going into the evening, you can do lighter exercise like restorative yoga or a walk outside is perfectly fine. In fact, that helps you connect with nature even more. And I'll talk about that coming up in the next lectures. You can also do some exercise in the afternoon, but keeping it away from the noon time. And I'll talk about why that's important, especially in energy management and being able to deal with stress and having our body recover from stress. All right, so this gives us an idea of where we need to start. It gives us a jumping point over the next few weeks to be able to make some changes in our schedule. You don't have to make any drastic changes. Just look at what's going on and take some notes on what you're doing and what your habits are and what your excuses are. So a lot of times it's the excuses that we're making that we don't realize we're doing. Like, oh, I have to do that. Well, no, you don't. I mean, if you need more sleep, you can make the adjustments. So just looking at the schedule and seeing where you're at right now. So it's a good jumping point and a good preparation for building a foundation for the next 10 weeks and then into 2022 when we start the program. So there you go. Have a great day. Thank you.